Hi, I'm Tim Stevens for PAAS, the Peaceful Animal Adoption Shelter in Vinita, Oklahoma. You may have heard about dog training programs in prison, but did you know that there's more going on in these programs other than just dog training? That's right, and it's happening at NOCC in Vinita. The PAAS NOCC partnership is leaving its print both in and out of the facility and helping change the lives of both man and dog. So get comfortable, and very shortly you're going to see the value of these programs and why more prisons would benefit in rehabilitation by adopting a program like the one you're about to see.
I had a vision for the inmate training program at NOCC that was based on the success of the program at Lexington Prison in a previous life. So I knew where I wanted it to go. I wasn't sure it would get there. Our first few trials were literally that. They were tests to see if it would work, not only for us, but for the prison and for the prison personnel. Little did I realize that once I had the right person in place to lead us to that next level, which is Rhonda Norris, we would begin to be recognized for the significant improvements and steps we're taking to not only rehabilitate the inmates, but the dogs. And she is following the guidelines of the Canine Good Citizen curriculum. So we have a standard that we will be judged by, and the dogs will be judged by.
We bring animals into our shelter that are either unwanted, lost, or just kind of whatever the circumstances are. We choose those animals to go into our prison program. It creates a relationship with that animal, its handler. They go through lots of training. They come out a very well-mannered dog, and then ultimately into a forever home.
So that's the general idea of how this program works, and it does. It's a great opportunity to save unfortunate, unfairly treated dogs from the horrible conditions that they were living in and give them a new lease on life. But how does it help the inmates who work as trainers?
This program creates a human-animal bond that's incredibly important. And it just creates a lot of structure for these guys, maybe that they haven't had, and a lot of responsibility is put on them. And again, like I said, a lot of accountability. So I think they recognize that as being something important, and the whole goal is to get these guys out of jail and so they don't come back into the system. And animals do that.
The program definitely gives the guys that get into it a sense of responsibility. It makes them feel alive again, to be a part of society. And it helps them to move forward, to know that they got a chance. These dogs got a second chance. We got a second chance as soon as we move past this part of our life. And the program definitely, it does that for us. That responsibility is what we need. We need routine in our life, work in our life, love in our life. And we get all that from this program. And then we're going to take that with us when we leave here.
Jeff's right. Responsibility, routine, work, and love. Both inmate and dog need and benefit from these four things in this program. But how about the staff at NOCC? How do they view the inmate-dog relationship and what the program's doing for the animal and inmate?
I feel like both of the dog and the inmate, when they're put together, they know that they're both not necessarily just forgotten, but they're both stuck in the same type of situation where this dog may have been abandoned, and here's this inmate that he's going to sit here and do his time, and they're just kind of put together, and it's really amazing to see that they connect that way, that they're just almost two in the same, and they really get to know each other and bond with being abandoned and whatever the inmate has going on. It really comes together nicely.
I think they're very similar in some ways. You take a lot of these animals, like I said, they've been kind of, so to say, thrown away, given to shelters, different things like that. Found out just wandering. And that reflects kind of the life of a lot of our inmates as well. So maybe they see some of themselves in these dogs. And they give that extra effort to, like I said, kind of pick that animal back up, just as we do with our inmates. Like I said, we want to encourage positive behaviors and make them productive members of society. And I think they're doing a lot of the same things with these dogs.
In a 2016 literature review written for Portland State University titled "Prison Programs to Reduce Recidivism, What is the Ideal Structure of an Inmate Reentry Program?" Scholar Magali Davila Centeno includes that maybe the greatest benefit these animal programs have on inmates is therapy. Other benefits also associated are lower recidivism rates, increased self-esteem, alleviation of loneliness, a decrease in violent behavior, depression, and anxiety, and an increase in social skills, responsibility, and parenting skills. All of these benefits have been concluded from anecdotal reports of already established programs.
I love seeing the guys today. They've come such a long ways from when we first started. First of all, it gives them someone to love unconditionally. It gives them that love back that they don't get here. I mean, it's just not the place for that, you know. So they experience that. They experience responsibility. We've worked on personal growth, speaking, complimenting other people, being a leader. So I just think it just benefits them in so many ways that they'll be able to use outside of prison when they get out.
They learn how to follow rules. They learn how to be firm with their dogs. They understand what it means now to give and receive love in a way they probably never have before. And as a result, they not only become better inmates while they're in prison serving their term, but they make a significant step forward to help them when they get out of prison.
They've taken different steps to provide different training to some of these guys. So some of them have that extra option of maybe that as a career when they leave. Like I said, giving them a little bit of hope, giving them some purpose and like something to look forward to.
We're trying to figure out ways that we can get certifications for these guys, legitimate professional training certifications for them. Those that are wanting to go on to maybe become more familiar with veterinary medicine, or maybe explore the thought of veterinary technology or something like that, maybe offer some college credits or make it where they can get college credits. More opportunities for them.
In my case, everything's my fault. Everything in their case really ain't their fault. They just kind of got thrown in whatever position they're in. That does give them a second chance, and that's what we're looking forward to, is kind of a second chance when we get out there. And it kind of gives us purpose, because there's really not much else here. It just feels like it's really just a waste of time, that we're not really progressing anywhere. This way I feel like we're actually doing something positive and for the community as well.
I've spoke with the Oklahoma Senate regarding prison legislation. And like much of the United States, there's basically no record keeping as far as statistical information regarding these programs and recidivism rates. However, a literature review written in 2012 by research assistant Alexandria Winter at the Massachusetts Department of Corrections says the reason such information doesn't exist may be because to those who are involved in these programs, the advantages are clear. Reduced prison tensions, increased social interactions surrounding the dogs, a development of valuable skills, including patience, self-esteem, compassion, and better behavior among program participants.
In the inmate training program at NOCC or any prison, those inmates who say yes, they would like to be in the program, have taken a huge step in saying they are going to live an exemplary life. They're going to follow all the rules. They're going to have no infractions that in any way remove them from the program. And once in a while, for those who fall short, you will discover that they will do everything they can to get back into the program. So it becomes a sought-after assignment, and it gives them a social elite status that they've been selected to be a part of that training program at NOCC.
The guys in that program, like I said, they really care about it. Like I said, they look at it as a privilege to be able to work with these animals. So you don't see a lot of the behaviors you see in, like I said, some other inmates. Like I said, tend to be far less drug use amongst them. They tend to stay on the straight and narrow to make sure they ensure their spot in the program. And so we appreciate that.
I think it's really great for them because it keeps them busy and keeps them out of trouble. And they've got to pass a drug test to stay in the place. And they get a few perks, not a whole lot, but a little bit. And I think it's just giving him something to do it. He's even thinking about maybe trying to do it as a professional once he gets out. That's giving him more of an incentive than anything else to stay on the straight and narrow. because he does like that dog program, and I think he's good at it.
Since I've been here, I've noticed some of your, your gang members, your tougher guys or whatever, just break down and be real gentle and, oh, puppy, and want to pet your dog and stuff. And yeah, it helps with the tension a lot, as well as it not only helps us as trainers, but it helps the people all over. You can walk a dog across this yard and everybody wants to, can I pet your dog, and ask you about it. So it absolutely helps.
As I mentioned earlier, there is a lack of data on prison-based programs such as this one. So for long-term results beyond prison walls, there is a need for empirical research. But finding consistent results may be as simple as contacting facilities that already have programs like this in place, including NOCC. Here are some final thoughts from NOCC staff.
If more prisons looked at this, more facilities looked at this, there'd be more programs. There's not much of a negative at all. I put in a little bit of time for it. All of the security staff put a little bit of time in for it. And we have volunteers that are helping to pay for it. And I think if people just look from a distance, they're kind of scared of the program. But when they get in here and they actually see it, it's not so scary. And a lot of facilities could very, very well benefit from it. And I think we would be taken kind of more seriously of it being just another program.
Think about people that are incarcerated that are looking to come back into society, and what can we do to help them fit back into society after they get out of prison. And a program like this does exactly that. It gives them a purpose, it lets them give back, and it gives them skills that they can use that they might not have coming out of prison and just, hello, here I am back in the world again.
Before we wrap up, I'd like to mention something. I did research on these programs before and after the filming and interviews were done for this video. In my own observations, I found that what the inmates told me during their interviews was consistent with research I've read that was conducted in similar programs at other facilities. So is there a negative here? I don't see one. Helen Keller is quoted as saying, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision." Do you see the potential in this program? To watch the complete video about the NOCC program, look for the 2017 PAAS in Prison video on the PAAS YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe. For the Peaceful Animal Adoption Shelter in Vinita, I'm Tim Stevens, and thanks for watching.